A dear friend said to me, "You don't realize that God is all you need until God is all you have." And that has stuck with me because I think we can do it on our own. And we think that we can, struggle, we can fight it. But when I surrendered fully to God, He changed everything. Alcohol for me was an escape, as it is for most people. And I think you don't realize how much when you rely on something that's not God, that it becomes an idol. And for the longest part of my life, I never would admit that that had become an idol in my life, because nobody wants it to be, right? Nobody wants this to be their thing or that to be their thing. And so for me, it was a slow burn. It didn't happen overnight. It wasn't that I just picked up a drink one day and then my whole life spiraled after that. It was just a very slow process. And it's cunning and it's baffling and it doesn't look like what you think it might look like. What I want people to hear is that it doesn't discriminate on who you are, what you look like, your job. I think from the outside, I had this picture perfect family, an amazing husband, a home, 2 kids, just living this perfect life. And I was dying on the inside. And I knew the Lord, and I knew that the Lord was pursuing me, but I was running as fast as I could because I knew that if I could just outrun Him, or if I could put Him over here, that I could keep this facade up. But I could only do that for so long. Having Andrew by my side and walk this road with me, it was such a hard road. And he just loved me so steadfastly. And I look back and I'm like, wow, I don't know that I would have done that. I don't know that I could have given you the grace you gave me. Over the last 5 years, I have grown leaps and bounds, but I'm still just chasing after the Lord. I think the thing that I am seeing as I grow and walk with the Lord is just to hear His voice and to lean on Him. And that has completely shaped everything in my life, that I want my life to be lived out as an example for others. I'm helping other women that are struggling, that are reconsidering their relationship with alcohol. And I've gotten to see women change their lives. So I feel like the Lord is just moving all the time. And I always say that if I ever wrote a book, the title would be Ricochet, because for me, that's what sobriety has been for me. It's been like a bullet that's fired from a gun, just headed for something destructive. But God stepped in, and He was the bounce back. And it just completely turned my life in a different direction. And I have eyes to see and vision that only He could give me, that I couldn't do on my own. And I'm just forever grateful. One of my favorite verses is Romans 8:38. And I think about that a lot, that nothing can separate us from the love of God. And addiction brings a lot of shame and a lot of guilt, but there is nothing that God cannot restore and redeem. And that is something I preach. My family hears me say it. My friends hear me say it. That there is nothing too big, nothing too messy, nothing too out of His reach that He will not restore and redeem.